Here's something I know many of you have, wait for it, had your eye on. We're talking about Marvel Legends, Gamerverse, Shuma Gargantos. We'll talk about it on the other side. What is good, my peeps? It's the Ruckus back at you again with another action figure review. And yes, you do see what's in front. Let me tell you a little story. I stepped out my house to go get some coffee. And lo and behold, I was greeted by the FedEx guy. Came bearing gifts, and it was this particular little ditty. Not so little ditty, I should say. And I was pleasantly surprised. He handed me a shipper box. This came in its own shipper box, and the size of the shipper box is substantial. I've already tested it out. You can actually get the 4 Versus packs in that shipper box, so you get an idea how large that is. Anyway, I haven't even introduced what the character is. You see it. You've already read the box. Gargantos. In my opener, you heard me, a clown, talk about Shuma Gorath. That's because that's who this character truly is. But legal issues, I believe Shuma Gorath is originally a character from the Conan universe. And so Marvel, or I should say Hasbro, we got this Gargantos name. And those of you that never played the game or were never into Conan, you may recognize this character colored differently, but the design is still the same from Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness film from a few years ago. Same, he was unnamed basically, but that's what that character was based on this. Anyway, you see the box. Of course, we've got the Gamerverse logo at the top. On the sides of this substantial box, we've got some more artwork, and we have even more artwork, different artwork on the other side. On the flip, since he's single, he comes single packed, they have to show Gargantos against one of the previous figures from one of the 4 Versus packs. In this case, we've got the Silver Samurai, and you see what it says there. You win, and look how Gargantos is posed. I think I'm going to have some fun with this character. We know that it's mostly bendy wire, because why wouldn't he be? You know what I'm saying? So getting him back to the front there so we can get a final view of him, or of this packaging. Next, we will see him out of said packaging in a minute, so we can all see how Gargantos is packed in that nice colorful box that we received. You see what we got going here. This is actually a clamshell top, and I believe one of the space eye there is going to come out once I lift that off, so you can see that you've got 3 of the tendrils right there. We've got the accessory eyepiece that's spiked out. I'll put that aside and lift this up so you can see the other 3 tentacles, and the big old eye, which is articulated, if I'm not mistaken. I guess we'll figure that out when I get all of this out of the clamshell. I think we can all agree that this will go down as the weirdest Marvel Legends in the history of Hasbro, for sure. We've got the body, or the eye right here, and you see we've got the ports to put those tentacles in, 6 of them, top and bottom. And the question some may be having is, well, what's considered the top and the bottom? I technically don't think it matters. But if we want to have some kind of point of reference, I would go with these sculpted in tendrils. Since they're facing down, I'm going to assume gravity is, doing its thing. The same thing with these extended tendrils. They kind of sort of going down. And then you've got up here, the ones above, they're kind of swinging down. Of course, you could tell that he can manipulate them. He's got control over these smaller tentacles. I'm going to set that back over here and take a closer look at the spike eye real quick, just to get that out of the way. So basically a ball with an eye in it. The eye is immobile. It's just there, just stares at you. And we've got the spikes, so that's like a serious weapon going on there. I'm going to go back to the head because, speaking of the eye is indeed articulated. Set down my tool there. You can move the orb itself. It can roll around left, right, up, down, and then your lids can move. So you see, I have them just shut. You can get a lot of expression just based on an eye. If you guys remember, the Giant Man Hazlight came with 3 sets of eyes, and it definitely changed the expression and definitely assisted with posing. You could do the same thing with Shuma. Need to be able to, because there's not much to him, as large as he is. Put that back, and you already know about the tentacles. 3 of them that was in their own tray. These are the 3 that were in their own tray. You see how they're curved at the end there. And then you have the 3 that have these squiggly ends here. But they're all basically, you can mix and match. I'm going to take one and just demonstrate that it is indeed bendy wire. And Hasbro has done a masterful job at not, usually with bendy wire you have the holes. We don't have them here. They're not apparent anyway. And you look here at the ends, you could tell that they're articulated because they've got hinges. And I just moved one. So you see that right there. And I believe, no, if they do, I'm not going to risk it. I was thinking that maybe these turn, but no, they're just there. And there's really no need, because since these are they're supposed to be bendy wire, there really is no need for them to twist, because you can do all of that with the tentacles themselves. And then now let's test one. Bendy wire application there. Let's see how far we can go with it. So yeah, you can get something going on. Gotta love that. So I would assume that it doesn't truly matter how we play this game. And the game I'm talking about is the installation. So yeah, we're going to go for it. I'm going to put a couple of these hooks on either side. And you saw that that snapped in. I'm going to put in this other hook down opposite of where this first one went in. And that one didn't snap in, but it did go in. I'm going to put this one down here too. I'm going to assume that the 3 other styles, get that in there, it doesn't want to go. So that's what we have so far. I'm going to have to begin the zoom out a little bit. And I'm going to get these 3 in place at the top there. That one snapped in. You could hear the click. And finally, number 6. And now we have our starfish, aka Gargantos, BKA Shuma Gorath. So I'm doing him this way so he can, as much as possible, get all the way in the shot. Well, as you can see, you can definitely get Gargantos posed. The challenge, and I'll do this, I'm not going to try to do this for the sake of this video, but I'm going to see if I can get him to perform the pose that he does when he wins a match, and see how far I can get with that. But yeah, you can definitely maneuver those tentacles, and with that eye, you can definitely change his expression. And here I wanted to demonstrate that you can get him to, shall we say, stand up. And with that roaming eye, he's always facing forward. I wanted to show that you can get Gargantos in some battles or action scenes, and instead of using one of the figures from any of the previous Versus packs from Gamerverse, I decided to go with Doctor Strange, and I figured what would be most appropriate would be to use the VHS version, since that's based on the 90s cartoon, which of course means animated. And when you think about it, video games are animation. So there you have it. Also, you see the effects that Strange is using. Those are, of course, third-party effects, because the effects that came with him are those same tired effects that we have gotten ad nauseum. Oh, and I forgot to point out that the spike ball eye has a porthole, so you can have it suspended. And since I'm having so much fun posing this thing, I figured I'd give you another battle. We've got Shuma Gargantos against the Maximum Series Hulk. So as I stated at the beginning of this review, this has to be, no doubt about it, the weirdest Marvel legend in history. And I am here for it. I am having so much fun posing this guy. Words can't describe the bendy wire. This is what bendy wire is all about. We've got the crazy eye that gives you, it's amazing. All you can do really is bend the tentacles and adjust the eyelid and the eye itself, and it's amazing the different expressions and that you can get out of it, and it actually works. The bendy wire, the bendy tentacles, I got to keep start referring to this, the bendy tentacles, they are very they're sturdy enough that you can get, I was going to say Shuma Gargantos to stand on his own, and they are bendable enough that you could get them to wrap around other figures to put them in, realistic. Realistic as far as a one-eyed cephalopod is concerned. Realistic poses in battle scenes. I think it's absolutely great. I never even got around to talking about the green paint apps and everything else, but it's pretty obvious anyway. And the eye itself looking good, with the pupil, and this is a great figure for what it is. It's just crazy how much fun it is to have this guy in your collection, and I would highly advise you to do so if you don't. It's part of the Gamerverse, and yeah, I think it's a great addition to both your collection and as far as collecting all of the Gamerverse figures are concerned. Your collection would be empty without it. So that's how I see it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe down below. And what do you think about this guy? It's so weird and silly that it's so much fun, and it's so silly it makes sense, if that makes sense. Anyway, let me know how you guys feel about it, what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.